All right, let's talk about the map of our DNA, the very blueprint for what makes us human. For decades, scientists have been using this map to understand everything about us. But what if a huge chunk of that map was just missing?
I mean, imagine trying to navigate the entire world, but your map only really details Europe and leaves most of Asia as a giant blank space. That's kind of the problem we've been facing in genetics, a problem that affects over 1 billion people.
So, to really get this, we first need to understand what a reference genome even is. The easiest way to think about it is as the ultimate master blueprint. It's the "you are here" star on the genetic map. It's the standard that everything else gets compared to, so we can spot those tiny variations that might be linked to our health.
And for a very long time, that master blueprint had a massive, massive blind spot.
Here's the deal. Our very best, most complete reference genome, it's called TT-TM13, was an absolute scientific marvel. But it was built from a single cell line of European origin. An incredible achievement for sure, but it critically underrepresented the Han Chinese population. You know, just the single largest ethnic group on the entire planet.
But now, finally, that is all changing. A brand new chapter in our genetic story is being written.
Meet T2T YAO. This isn't from some anonymous culture in a lab. This is the complete genetic blueprint of a real person. A man from a village in China's Shanxi province with a family history that stretches back for generations in a region that's considered the cradle of the Han population. The researchers themselves call it an authentic, complete diploid human genome reference. And that word authentic is so important here. It's not a simplified version. It's the real, complex, two-copy code, one from each parent, that actually represents the world's largest population.
And okay, this new map isn't just more representative. Get this, it's also better. Like, way better.
How much better? Well, it has exactly this many gaps. 0. None. It's a true telomere-to-telomere assembly, which is just a fancy way of saying it reads every chromosome completely from one end to the other without any missing pages. The book is finally finished.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the quality score. In genomics, a higher QV, or quality value, basically means a near-perfect sequence with way, way fewer errors. The old gold standard, CHM13, had a fantastic score of over 73, but TTTREO, it clocks in at almost 75. Now that might seem like a small jump, but believe me, in this field, that represents a new peak of accuracy.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. This new reference isn't just filling a crucial diversity gap. It is setting an entirely new global standard for accuracy. Period. So what happens when you can finally put two complete, super high-quality maps right next to each other? Well, you start discovering entire new continents of information you never knew existed. When you compare it to the old European-based map, each half of the T2TIO genome has around 330 million base pairs of unique sequences. That is a staggering amount of previously uncharted genetic territory.
And hiding all that new territory? About 3,100 unique genes that were basically invisible to science before now. Think about that. Thousands of genes whose functions we can finally start to explore.
And this image shows that we're not just talking about tiny single-letter typos here. This is a scientific visualization comparing the old map on the bottom to the two new TTTAO blueprints up top. You don't need to be a geneticist to see the difference. All those breaks and those shifting color patterns, they show huge structural changes. Entire sections of the genetic code are arranged completely differently.
To put that into perspective for you, one of the differences they found was a massive inversion on chromosome 8. That means a section of DNA, 4 million letters long, is completely flipped backward compared to the old reference. That's like finding out a whole mountain range on your map is facing the wrong direction. It's that big a deal.
So, why does all of this matter? I mean, why does redrawing our genetic map mean so much? Well, it fundamentally changes the future of medicine for all of us.
Let's just break down the shift. Before, we had a map that was European-centric, which could lead to totally misinterpreting genetic variations in other populations. Now, we're moving towards true global representation, which means much more accurate diagnoses. We're going from a kind of one-size-fits-all medicine to truly personalized treatments that are actually tailored to an individual's specific genetic background.
So really, what this all boils down to is simple, but it's also profound. A more complete map means more accurate disease diagnosis for billions of people.
It pushes personalized medicine way forward, and it creates a much fuller, more honest picture of the incredible diversity of our species.
As the authors of the study themselves said, this work will undoubtedly provide valuable insights for how we understand genomics and use it in clinical medicine. This isn't just a map for scientists in a lab, it's a tool for doctors and for patients.
So we've just seen one of the most important maps in science get this massive and, frankly, long overdue update. And it leaves us with a really thrilling question. With this more complete guide to our own blueprint, what incredible new discoveries about our health, our history, and our shared humanity are waiting just around the corner?